Okay, Danelle, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Let me introduce myself. My name is Rick Hassey, and I'm a professor at the University of Laverne, but also I'm a business owner and have been a business owner for many years. And Paul Boychuk in his office every semester asks me to come in and do some mock interviews for students to help them prepare themselves for the cruel and ugly world that we live in, and it's getting crueler and uglier, as you well know, these days. But how to better prepare yourself for this, and we go through a little bit of questions, and you talk a little bit about yourself, and you treat me like I'm hiring you, and get some good ideas about how you do yourself, represent yourself. And I think just looking at you, you've got a tie on, you look great,
Thank you.
you represent yourself well, and I think one of the key things about a job interview, Danelle, and especially this is the best thing we're doing these days, is doing this on Zoom. The world is going to be in the next few years very, very more technology,
Mhm.
technology driven. It's going to be changing a lot quicker. You see that now that Laverne is forced to do courses online. It's going to be probably going to be doing a lot more online teaching in the future. The world is changing. Many companies are going to be working at home, online technology. So this is a good skill to develop, a good skill. Let's see how you react and adapt to. This is a good thing.
Mhm.
So I commend you for being here today. Are you a senior, Danelle?
No, I'm going. I'm a sophomore, finishing my
Oh,
sophomore.
you're a sophomore. Excuse me. I was given some wrong information. Well, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. I was an investment banker. I helped people, companies get money, capital, and had my own business for, ooh, geez, I'm an old gangster, 30 years. And 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I sold my company to my employees. And that's kind of been my retirement. They send me a check. Oh, by the way, on Friday, May 1st, they will send me a check
Nice.
as payoff on the business that they purchased from me. But at the same time, I do a little consulting still and help out, but also I teach more at Laverne. I teach accounting and finance in the undergraduate programs and in the graduate programs at the university. So I'm kind of a good candidate, even though I'm kind of a dopey sort of a guy. I'm a good candidate to get some experience about it because I've been around the block. I've been in a lot of situations. So let's begin there, Donnell. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and walk me through your resume?
Okay, so right now I'm currently a sophomore, finishing my sophomore semester at Laverne. And, I'm a business admin major. And then when I graduate, my plans are actually to go into law enforcement. So I want to kind of do something with like the FBI or like detective wise. But I also want to kind of own my own business, but like do something with like real estate. And so currently, right now, I'm working at In and Out. I've been there for like 2 years now.
Which in and out?
The one in Upland off of Foothill.
Yeah.
And so I've been there for about like 2 years now. And I moved up pretty fast there. I was working really hard to move up. And I also coach high school basketball.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So because I've been playing basketball, basketball has been like a big thing in my life. That's kind of like what shaped me to who I am
Are
today.
you on our Laverne basketball team?
I played my freshman year, but I did not. I don't play anymore.
Got sick of losing, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
So, but I didn't want to step away from the game fully, so I found like a coaching position, and it's actually I really enjoy it because I can kind of shows my leadership skills. Like, and since I am still young, I kind of can relate with the kids a little bit more, and I still played, or I played recently, so it helps me like like learn. I'm still learning how to coach, but it also like brings me like gives me more opportunity to like learn how to like deal with other people, different
Mm-hmm.
ages as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then so yeah, that's pretty much what I'm.
What courses do so far do you like in your business program?
Actually, achieving professional success is probably one of my favorite classes I've took so far. Like, the professor, she just is amazing. And then, other than that, I'm not a real big math guy, so like, I like it, but I'm just not. Sometimes if I don't have like a good way of like learning it or like a good professor to teach it to me, like a new subject at least, it's kind of hard for me. I struggle a little bit more, so I have to find and go like I have to go outside of it and try to learn on my own.
Who's your teacher in that class?
and Achievement Professional Success, Rochelle Cowper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you've listed two very interesting career options: FBI and and real estate business.
Yeah.
Those are quite the polar different sides of a career. Um, if you were, where do you, what's your passion? Would you like to, if you had no other obstacles, where would you, what career would you choose? Real estate or FBI?
FBI.
FBI.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. Then that's what we'll assume that you'll be doing, because you should go after that the best way you can. Okay. Um, what do you consider, Donnell, your weaknesses? Things that you have to work on academically over the next couple of years, or things that you need to work on maturity, personality. What are your weaknesses in your life?
Personality wise, I would say it would be my tone. So like I'm a very passionate person to when it comes to things that I like enjoy, or when I really want to get something done. And so if I'm working with others, it can seem as my tone will come off like kind of not rude, but just very strong. And so others may take it like others take it a little like personal. And so I just need to work on like my relaying my messages, because when I'm passionate about something, I never am trying to be like I'm never being like mean or rude and how they say it. It's just like I'm just very strong about it, and so it can come off strong. So I just have to realize like who I'm talking to, because some like and what the like for example for coaching, so they are younger. So when like I'm very passionate about basketball, and so when I'm teaching them something, and then I'll be going, and then they'll be like, I'm like, okay, my bad guys, like I don't mean it in that type of way. And I have to just rearrange my words or my word setting for them to understand. So I think
Hmm.
that would be my biggest weakness, is just like kind of realizing who I'm talking to, and not coming off very strong, but like more passionate rather than like, if that makes sense.
It does, yeah. Now, if you pursue a career in law enforcement, that's a very stressful job. Not only stress in the type of work you're doing, but also stress on the family, stress on your life around you. Uh, how do you handle stress, or have you handled stress?
Yes, I've handled stress. I handle it pretty well. I mean, I feel like that's something that everyone kind of can struggle with either way, even if you can handle it good. But I just really try to like not like if there's due dates, or like my time management is actually really good. So like
Hmm.
I'm the type of person, I don't want to wait to the last minute to do anything. Like I rather get it done the very first day that it's available, so I have it kind of off my shoulder, and that kind of saves me that stress. I'll obviously there's times where you can't get that done, so I usually just like make sure I'm prepared for whatever situation I can possibly be prepared for, so I'm
Okay.
not as stressed out.
One of the key things of a job interview, or what we're doing here, Donnell, is I, as the interviewer, are trying to find how you would be a good fit for my organization. Would you be, not only you're a smart guy, I can see that on your resume, I can do background checks and all that sort of thing, but do you, personality wise, do you fit into the culture of my company? Are you what I'm looking for? And then sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. You're just not it has nothing to do with you. It's just what my company's like, and that's important. But at the same time, vice versa, you're interviewing me to see if we would be a good fit for you. That's important too, um, especially when you're trying to develop a career like the FBI or real estate or whatever career.
Mhm.
You're trying to do something that you enjoy, that is giving you a challenge, and that's in some respects fun. You want to find I have a lot of friends that are 50 years old that make a lot of money, but they're miserable.
Mhm.
Why are they miserable? Because they don't like what they're doing. It's really sad. And you don't want to do that. You want to find a career, a passion, something that you want to get up every morning and do, that will pay you naturally, and pay you hopefully down the road very well, and give you a lifestyle, and take care of your family, but at the same time something that you enjoy. And part of the job interview is you interviewing me to saying, I don't want to work with these guys. Oh God. Or man, yeah, I think I could do this. And your resume is a key that unlocks the door. The resume is not the deal breaker. The resume doesn't get you a job. Okay, this is not a fly-by-night digital company where we just hire you based on resumes. That doesn't work that way. The resume unlocks the door so you can come into my office and interview. A resume is kind of you feeling out who you would like to do or work with. That's the
Mhm.
important thing. So the resume should be very personal. I'm probably telling something that Rachel probably doesn't tell you. Your resume should be personal, but at the same time, show your skills,
Okay.
weakness, and successes. What you do in the community, what you like coaching basketball, what you like at school, what you succeed at. What are your skills technology wise? Always press the technology because the world is going to be driven by your skills in presenting through technology. That's important.
Okay.
So speaking of that, if you're going to find a career in law enforcement or real estate, what do you think your starting salary should be?
My starting salary.
Yeah, have you ever thought about that? I mean, when you get out of college, what do you think would be a good salary for you? I mean, that's kind of an unfair question, but it's a good question because a lot of times it tells an interviewer a lot about the person. I'll give you an example. So this gives you time in your head to think about your answer.
Okay.
Uh, if I ask you a question, well, Donnell, what do you think your salary should be? Well, Mr. Hassey, I think I should be making $120,000 a year. I go, oh, really, Donnell? $120,000 right out of college and working for our company. Could you explain why you deserve $120,000? Well, I have a lot of homeboys and I want to get a nice car and I that's the kind of money I need. That is no way of doing a job interview.
Mhm.
You have to do a little research with the company. You have to do a little research on yourself. What type of career starting salary would be appropriate to ask? And usually you want to ask during in a salary range. Oh, 50 to 60,000,
Mhm.
45 to 55, something like that. And that is a little bit makes it a little bit more fair for the interviewer knowing, okay, this person's thought a little bit about this and they're not giving me some bunch of BS saying 120,000, really? We hire our people at 45, $50,000.
Mhm.
So that's something to think about. So when you are pressed with that question, usually in the second interview, tell us about your salary requirements. What would you say?
So for the law enforcement, I feel like it'd be probably between like 25 maybe to 30,000. And that's just research based, like me doing my own research. It's like the base salary when you first start, and obviously you go up as the years go
Mhm.
on. Or and if you do have a college degree, you do get a little bit more than someone who doesn't, who just has a high school diploma. And so I feel the 20 between a 25 and 30,000 range would be good starting out.
Okay, well, that's a good analysis of what type of money you'd be interested in. But I'll be perfectly honest with you, Danelle. If you say 25,000, they'll go, "What planet is this guy working? Is this guy going to live in North Dakota? He's
Yeah.
not going to live in Southern California on $25,000 a year." So again, that just requires a little bit more research and thinking. But generally, that's a good answer. That's what you should say.
Okay.
Give a range. Give why you came up with that amount. Whatever. That's a good answer to that. But that's important because a lot of companies want to know what your thinking is behind that. Not that they're going to say, if they really want you and your resume is outstanding and you come off great in an interview, they're going to pay you. But at the same time, they're going to try to save a buck any way they can. And they want to make sure that you're happy because if you're happy, there's nothing worse in a company to hire you and then you're there for 6 months and you leave.
Hmm.
You finally figure out $25,000, I can't live on this. I got to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
So they're going to pay you to keep you because they want to, because it saves them money by you keeping with the company. And if you keep hiring people, that's expensive. Training, just going out and finding people, that's expensive. So that's a good way of looking at that. Um, let's say, what you're like 20 years old, 20?
Almost 20, yes.
All right, okay. Where do you see yourself? I know this is a corny question, but everybody asks it. What do you see yourself when you're 30? What are you
I'm
going to be doing when you're 30?
I'm gonna be a detective. I don't know for what firm, but I will be a detective and hopefully have a family and a wife and kids, and just living my life, being able to go up to waking up and going to work like you said every day with a smile on my face because I know I'm being able to help people and I'm helping myself because again, I'm enjoying what I'm doing.
Sure. Good answer. Okay, that's good. I think one of the things you want to say in that answer is to say that I'm constantly learning, constantly growing. Okay, not when by the time I'm 30, I've accomplished everything I've wanted to do. I have a family, I have a career. That's a good answer, but at the same time, you also say, by the time I'm 30, I want to be looking at maybe uh, starting a side business on the side, or by the time I'm 30, I want to start doing more community engagement work, maybe coaching more in basketball on weekends, maybe developing yourself as a person as your career. It doesn't stop when you're 30, it doesn't stop when you're 40 or 50.
Hmm.
It keeps on going, and have that attitude that I want to keep learning, I want to keep growing, and I want to do that with you as an employer, but at the same time personally. uh, I want to get to a certain point. Yes, by 30, I hope I have a house. I hope I have a kids or whatever. But at the same time, you're going to be disappointed in the next 10 years. And it might not always work out that way. So you always have to have the mindset that you're constantly learning and developing and adapting and changing to fit into whatever you are in your life at that particular time. That's very important.
Okay.
That's very important. One of the things I tell my students is that a lot of you are interviewing for jobs, and you're probably during your career, you're going to be working for a company that has yet to be invented. You're going to work for a product that nobody's ever heard of. Because just think about how the world has changed since you were in elementary school,
Hmm.
and think about how the world has changed in my life. Uh, when I was in college, there were no computers. When I was in college, there were no cell phones.
Hmm.
When I was in college, there were no overhead projectors, no Wi-Fi. But I managed to learn. I managed to do pretty well. But the world is constantly changing, so you have to have that mindset in your own life, is that things are not going to be the same, and you have to be ready. And that's why an education is so valuable. Education gives you the discipline and the skills to adapt to change, and that's very important. And you want to show that to your potential employer, that you're willing to do that, willing to always change.
Okay.
Donnell, do you have any questions of me?
So this is gonna be, so you like as my interviewer or you personally?
Doesn't matter.
I did have a question, but kind of just slipped my mind right now.
All right.
For the resume.
Yeah.
So you look at my resume, is there anything that you suggest that I could add or like subtract? I know you said something about adding like weaknesses.
Well, I don't want to highlight weaknesses,
Oh, okay.
but areas that
Or could have improvement. Yeah.
yeah, you should put in your. I don't know if this is doable these days, but you should put in your grade point average.
Okay.
Not only your overall grade point average, but whatever is higher, your grade point average within your major,
Okay.
business administration. Because when I was in college, thousands of years ago, on my resume, I put down my grade point in my major, which was 4.0.
Okay.
And then out in my other classes, like I had to take sociology and chemistry and that sort of thing, I really didn't get too excited about those. So my overall grade point was like 3.5, 3.7. But I wanted to show, hey, I got a 4.0 in these courses here that I'm listening in my resume. Something like that is important, but you might want to check with Rachel about that. I'm kind of old school with that, and maybe nowadays they don't like putting that in a resume.
Okay.
Also, you want to put down in your resume, if you can, like you've been at In-N-Out Burger for a while. Not if you're at a company for 2 or 3 years, maybe put down a supervisor's name that they can rate on your resume, that can be a reference.
Okay.
If that's possible, do that. Or also in education, you might put down a faculty member that you've had a couple of times, or who knows you very well, or a coach, somebody that's part of the resume that somebody can maybe contact right off the bat.
Okay.
That's a good thing too. But again, you should check these out with Rachel or your teachers, because your interview teachers like Paul or whatever, because I'm kind of old school and I might be behind the ball on that one about how to do that.
See, for the grade point average, they said it was like optional. They said it was not recommended. So that's now I know like I could throw it in there.
Hmm.
And then but I will definitely ask her about putting the contact information because that does make sense. So that gives them an opportunity to
Yeah,
contact who you.
yeah. Yeah,
associate with. And
exactly. Any other questions?
um, mm, not, no, not right now.
Okay, okay. Well, again, you have a good resume. You represent yourself very well, Donnell, and I hope this has helped you. You're a good person, and I hope you. This is going to be difficult times ahead at Laverne as far as the university is going to change. We might have to be online next fall. Or if we're not online, you're going to have to be in situations where it's going to be a lot different on campus than it was that you're used to.
Hmm.
And in some respects, that's a good thing. And also it sucks in some respects because you kind of like the campus. You like being around your friends. You like being in the classroom. So it's going to be changing, but I want you to use this as a training ground and a ways of making yourself better. And at the same time, if you need any information or need any have any questions, feel free to use me and call on me at any time. You're more than welcome to do that, and I can help you in any way I can. Let me know. And I wish you the best success. And I hope this little few minutes has helped you a little bit in preparing.
It has tremendously. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right, Donnell. Take
No,
good luck to you. All right.
you too. And hopefully I can see you next fall because I'm taking your course for my practicum.
Ah,
So
okay. So yeah,
I
you'll see a lot of me.
yeah, and I've actually heard about you, so that's why I picked you too when I was going down the line because Seth Shaw, I don't know if you remember Seth Shaw, but he was my roommate.
I have Seth in class this semester, matter of fact.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I was trying to get you for accounting, but it just you were always so filled up because you're a very popular professor. I
Oh,
just want you to
well,
know.
well,
So
that's nice. That's nice. Well, thanks. Well, Donnell, I'll look forward to seeing you next fall.
per-
We're working on next fall about how we're going to manage if we have to be online. Hopefully, we won't have to, but it'll be a good class. So hopefully, we'll see you then. Okay.
cool, perfect.
All right,
Appreciate it.
Donnell. Take care.
You as well.